Hey, what's up, Joe Joe in the morning? I hope you are having an absolute amazing day. If you are not, there is a 93% chance after this video, your day will be changed and it will be glorious for the rest of the day. Okay, I've made that stat up. But I want to talk to you about the type of people that you hang out with. And this is going to help you so much. You know, I had no idea when I started our mentoring with Joe Joe Dawson in June how much I would absolutely love it. We're going to continue it in July. I'm going to tweak some things. If you want information about it, in the links below, you can sign up for it. I'll be in contact with you. Also in the links below, my friends at Kingdustry. I love these caps. Good news, conversation starters, and power. You know, I got these caps. There's a link down there. They give part of their proceeds to feed the homeless. Just love Kingdom entrepreneurs. Those caps, you can go check them out on their website. It's all in the links. But here's what I want to talk to you about today. Best said by Denzel Washington. Small minds discuss people. Average minds talk about events. Great minds talk about creativity and ideas. If you, my friends, are stuck, it is a good chance that you are standing, hanging out with people who are talking about people or events. Now, I do like talking about some events, but I always spin it towards creative and ideas. We all got those friends, and you used to be one of them. I used to be one of them that you'd be sitting around drinking coffee or something, drink you some coffee with a friend. As you're talking, kind of run out of things to talk to, and it goes into talking about people. You never, ever do any good talking about people, okay? There's been times in my life when I kind of was a lower thinker. I was a lower thinker. And I'd talk about people, talk about things. And then all of a sudden, the creative edge of my life just started just flowing. And I remember one day I was in prayer. And I asked the Lord, I said, God, how does certain people write a new book every year? These amazing worship teams, they write new songs all the time. How do these people always, that are always on the forefront of ministry and even business or on business, and they're always rolling? And the Lord said, people on the creative edge have to fight to stay there, but once they're there, they don't want to lose it. So they talk about creative ideas. Don't waste your time talking about people. I remember one time, years ago, probably about 12 years ago, I was at my favorite restaurant, and I had 3 pastors and youth pastors. One was a pastor of a church, one was a youth young adult pastor, and the other one was, I think, he was the pastor, but also did the young adults at his church. They invited us to my favorite restaurant. I really didn't know him that well, and I went and sat down. We were eating, or going to eat, and we were sitting there, and we ordered. I got the steak. I was getting my favorite meal. Oh, it's so good. I was sitting there, and they started talking about people. I was talking about people. I was squirming. Woo, y'all, I could smell it. And then they just kept, and then one guy picked up his phone and showed something. I was like, ooh, I don't want to look at that. And I was just kind of like, And I looked over there. You know the little window they put the food in? I saw my steak. I could smell that steak. But my spirit was like, "Rrr." And I said, guys, I'm sorry. I got to go. Put in my wallet, grabbed a C note, some Mallard, some Franklin, some 100, and I put it down. I said, I'll get the meal today. Y'all have a good day. And I walked out. Hour later, church I was working at, one of those guys came and sat down. He said, man, why'd you leave? And I said, I just did. He said, no, I want to know for my benefit, why'd you leave? I said, I don't talk about people. That was cringing my spirit. And he said, I got to change because and he just kind of started opening up. We talked for a little bit. Did you know out of those 3 guys, 2 years later, one, they said, went off into drinking and got caught, lost his church. The other one started drinking, messing around on his wife, got a divorce. And the other one, he just train wrecked. What would happen if I would have stayed there? Because my steak was coming. And if I would have sat there and ate that perfectly grilled to perfection steak, what would it have done to my soul, my spirit? Small minds talk about people. I thought they invited me there to discuss ideas. It was awkward for me to get up and walk out. But I'm glad I did. Never be afraid to step out of an awkward situation. It was funny, one of my daughters was actually at a youth event at a church, and she said, "Hey Dad, do you know a guy named this guy?" I said, yeah, I know who he is. That's all I said. She says, "He told me to tell you hi. Said he has a lot of respect for you." I said, "You know what? I remember him. He's a good guy. He's got a good heart." That's all I said. He was one of the guys in church, serving a good church, serving a really good church in our city. Came back around. And sometimes when you make a stand, without even saying anything or bashing other people, you just simply stand. I remember one time I was going through something and I said, "God, I don't know how to break this. I've done everything I know how to do. The only thing I can do is to stand." And the Lord spoke back and said, "That's all I need you to do." And so, man, I did not plan to talk about this right here. I didn't think about that story before I started talking. But you got to understand that Old Country and Western Song, you got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. So here is your test and your homework over July. Let's say for July. When you're sitting around your friends talking, let them start the conversation. Are they going to talk about people? Small minds. Are they going to talk about events? Average minds. Now, I do like talking about some events and only if it leads to creative. Example. We were talking about one of our past vacations the other day. Like, man, I remember we went to this one place, this one beach. We went to here. Yeah, that was fun. And we were talking about that event. And it led to, did y'all like it enough to go back? Or do you want to try another place? And so, that's a pretty good example. See if your friends talk about creative ideas. A lot of my friends, "Hey Joe, how's it going? Good. How's the fam? Great. How's your family? Good. Cool. What's the Lord been speaking to you about?" And then we talk about the prophetic words. What is the prophetic? It is a picture of the future that we are to walk through a process to obtain the future. Get around people who talk about the prophetic. People can say what they want to, but the Lord said. But the Lord said. I would not be where I am today if it was not for the Lord said. I remember the first time I saw my wife. The first second I laid eyes on her, the Lord spoke to me. Said, "That's your wife." I gave the Lord a pound and a high five. It took her a little while to hear the Lord. But when the Lord said, "She's your wife," I don't know how many people kept telling me, Well, you don't have a shot at her. You don't have a chance at a girl like that. Why would a girl like that want to go out with a guy like you? And I just never believed what anybody said about me, thank God. So I didn't believe them. I just said, the Lord said. The Lord said. 23 years, 3 amazing kids, a lot of ministry, a few books co-written together, planted a church together, health coaches together. That's it, y'all. The Lord said. Get around people. Get around people who talk about creative things, who talk about big things, ideas, prophetic words, business adventures. I got a few friends. I mean, literally only got a few friends. I don't have that many friends. I got a lot of acquaintances, but I got some friends. Man, when we sit down, I was meeting with at my favorite restaurant here in town with one of my friends, and we're talking. And the waiter, a real cool young guy, was sitting there, and he just kept coming over like a lot, just like, man, do you need some more water, sir? I'm like, no, I only drank an ounce. And he said, look, I'm going to be honest, man. I'm not eavesdropping on y'all's conversation. But when I come over here and listen to y'all talk, nobody talks like that. Nobody, I mean, when I come over here, I get excited. And so I'm sitting there talking to this friend, and this guy that we both know came over and said hello. He stayed for like 5-6 minutes while we're eating. And I said, hey, man, you came in with a bunch of people. You think they're waiting on you? He's like, are you trying to get rid of me? I said, yeah, because me and him scheduled a meeting to talk. And it was iron sharpens iron, just back and forth, talking about creative things, talking about events, moving and shaking. Nothing good comes out of talking about people. Talking about things of the past. Some of you, let me just say, need a new circle of friends. And this is a saying that I have, and I want you to adopt it. If somebody hears somebody said something about them, they will know 100% it did not come from me. I had one of my close ministry friends a year ago called me, and I'm not going to say his name. He called me and said, hey, man, I was at a conference, and one guy said, hey, man, Joe Joe Dawson said this about you. And he said, no, he didn't, because he doesn't talk about people. And if he does, it's good. And the guy said, yeah, dude, I was just kidding with you. I was going to see what you'd say. He said, first of all, that's stupid that you would even say that, because the Bible says sixth thing the Lord hates, the seventh is an abomination. What you just did was an abomination. And then my friend said, and they were all like blown away, like, man, listen, nothing good comes out of talking about people. Quit. And as much as you can, quit talking about past events and talk about that business you're supposed to launch. Talk about that book you're supposed to write. Talk about that ministry you're supposed to build. Talk about that nonprofit you're supposed to start. Come on, man. Ooh, I'm getting fired up now. You need to talk about those things. Get that creative. I mean, think about this. Matthew 6:10, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as in heaven. God did not create us to sit around and talk about people. He called us to receive prophetic words and build. That's what we're called to do. Joe Joe in the morning, family, on a Thursday. Boy, I'm telling you, it's a good day. It's a good day. I actually think on some of the social media outlets, this is on Friday. It's Thursday or Friday, wherever you're watching it at. Hey, man, you guys are awesome. I love y'all and appreciate y'all. As Denzel Washington said, small minds talk about people. Okay, I'm going to say something. I was with some people, and I was had to be in this meeting. And somebody leaned over to me and said, hey, you don't ever talk, do you? I said, not much. And one of the people there that know me and was not talking either said, he will talk when there's something worth talking about. Be the person, like the John Maxwell, the law of E.F. Hutton. When he spoke, people listened. Be the person. I mean, when I was young, I used to rattle. I talked. I remember one time on my report cards, they had comments. Out of all my classes, all 7 of them, my comment was talks excessively. I never shut up. I just talked. I didn't make any sense when I talked. I just talked. And then when I got older, I was in a meeting and I said something very important and very, very profound. And nobody paid a bit of attention to me. And when it was over, this older minister pulled me aside. He said, "Young man, I heard what you said. That was so good. It was so powerful. And if everybody else would have heard you, it would have changed the meeting. But the problem is you never stop talking. So they just think you're just rambling. Choose your words wisely and choose when to speak." Yes, sir. Changed me. Yep. All right. One more time. Small minds talk about people. Average minds talk about events. The world changers talk about the prophetic and talk about creating and ideas. Love you guys. If y'all need prayer, you know the drill. Go to the website, joejoedawson.net. Send me a prayer request. I want to pray for you. Love y'all.